Okay. All right. Well, everybody, I am Karen Clements with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Greene Cypress office, and I am interviewing Tamisha Bouie Hattix. And Tamisha has joined our company. January 28th was her start date, so just 75 days ago. And Tamisha just landed her first listing with our company, and we're just really proud of that. And the listing is for 723,000 and change. But I want to introduce Tamisha. We're going to talk a little bit about her background. And so welcome, Tamisha. Say hi.
Hello.
So Tamisha, what industry were you in before you came to Greene?
Oh, so I've been a nurse for 15 years, so in the healthcare industry, registered nurse. So been doing that, like I said, for the past 15 years prior to coming into real estate. The change was I've always been interested in real estate. I really enjoy it, but I guess I went with nursing as a safe option or whatnot, job security, but it just never really real estate is where my passion really lied. So it was just finally at a time in my life where it's like, let's just go for it. And so here I am, came all into it, and I'm doing real estate full time. So no
Awesome.
longer in the hospital, straight up just real estate.
And so went through the onboarding process. It's only been a couple of months. So fast track is really fresh in your mind, right? So you've been all through our fast track program.
Yes.
And so went through fast track, you did all your studying, you're with us full time, you're engaged, you're being plugged in and doing your homework and everything that you need to do. We got you right away onto doing our opportunity time and floor time. So let's kind of walk through fast track.
Okay.
You like Lindsay L. What did you, how did fast track get you going? Let's put it that way.
I mean, the first thing, so one of the things that for the first week there was, learning your sphere and developing that. And I'm not a social media person, so I hadn't had Facebook for a good 14 years, but they were like, no, Lindsay just showed us different tips, like how it works and benefits the way you're able to connect with people, and making sure that you're engaging and not just liking people's, pictures or whatnot, but actually putting comments out there, and how you can group your friends together into certain groups, of how you want them to be past clients, and just really how to work it and where it can actually benefit your business, but not in a way also you want to be personal with people. Like she said, you don't want that separate business account and only have them friends on there. You really need to engage people with your personal account, because if they see that they're only on your business one and not your friend on it kind of, turns people off. So really just to use it to benefit you, but, in a way where everyone feels accepted, like they're actually, your friends and you care about them, and just how you can really make social media work for you. I've also gotten on Instagram, and that's been a really helpful thing too. So I'm trying to embrace that, because I was hardcore that I was not going to be doing social media, but through like Lindsay and also Brian and even you, Karen, just saying how it can really help to build your business. And Lindsay made a good point where you may not like to do something, but if you're good at your job, and you want to be good at your job, then you just do certain things, even though you may not like it, but you want to be good at your job. So I looked at it from that standpoint. I want to be good at my job and be successful. And if that means embracing social media, then that's what I'm going to have to do.
You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right, exactly.
And then we evolved you through fast track and getting you guys engaged and embracing our listing presentation.
Yes, that was a huge thing. I think Brian really talked about that one when you're going into the listing and making sure that you know that material. And they just pointed out, and even out with our relocation team too, how we work with Cardis and just all the Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Greene just offers you so many tools and resources, which is really, I interviewed and looked at a lot of different companies before I chose Greene. And the reason why that made me come back to it was just due to all of the resources that you guys offer. I mean, it's like everyone truly cares, all of the leadership and management, and it's like they do so much to try to make you be successful. So, and that's what I needed, because I think back to when I first got out of nursing school, I needed my charge nurses and my preceptors, because even though I went through the schooling, it's not really there. You don't have that direct hands-on to really apply it. And so having the right people there to help you step by step is just amazing. So that is why I chose Gary Greene, was because of all of the support and education and resources that you have.
I remember when we were interviewing, because it feels like yesterday we were in that office, right? And I knew right away I could relate to you in nursing because my daughter is an RN. And I said to you, yeah, I'm your preceptor, right? And that kind of,
Right.
it clicked.
You have definitely been, especially me landing this first listing. I mean, I was just telling you yesterday, like, I'm so appreciative that every step of the way I've been able to just ask you a question, call you on the phone, we do a quick Zoom meeting, and you've just been there to keep me calm and let me know that I can do this. Every time I was going to meet with them, you're like, you got this. And I'm like, yes. So yeah, it's just been great.
Awesome. So when you went through Fast Track, you had your listing presentation done. I told you to study it, right?
Yes.
We printed out those slides. I made you study. I made you understand who we were and feel comfortable with that. And you were able to then get on to our opportunity time and our floor time. So lo and behold, you ended up getting an appointment, right? You got a floor call.
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about that floor call.
So it was and of course, this was back in March, because we were all working from home by that time. You know, many folks weren't going into the office. And so it was nearly at the end of my time slot, and I didn't even think anything of it. And there was Better Homes and Garden Gary Greene on the caller ID. And so I answered, and it was Tammy. And I thought she was trying to look at a house, because that's typically what people were looking for. And then she's like, no, we're trying to sell our house. And I was like, oh, okay. So they were looking for a realtor. And then, you know, I just started to tell her at that time, since it was different, a seller and not a buyer, about what Gary Greene, what we can do for them, how we market their homes. And, you know, they live in Bridgeland. And I said, well, we get a lot of listings in Bridgeland. You might have noticed that. And she said, yeah, my husband told me to call. So I was like, it's probably because he's seen our signs in the yards throughout that community. So he did, and gave me her information, you know, her address and everything, so I could find out stuff about the home or whatnot. At that time, though, I was not able to secure an appointment, but I said, you know what, I'll go through and get some information and provide it to you. And then when we got done, well, of course, I immediately called you. I was like, hey, I have this person and they want to sell their house. You know, she gave me her address and everything, and what should I do next? And, you know, of course, that's when you told me, you know, go ahead and send her the pre-listing video in an email, which, you know, we did that. And that's when I was asking too, because the caller was a bit concerned about the whole COVID-19, you know, having people into the house or whatnot. And that's when you told me I can also send her, you know, the PowerPoint presentation of our listing brochure. So, you know, did that. And you gave me the advice of sending her a text message, you know, to follow up and be like, hey, you know, I sent you an email. This is just a text, you know, to let you know. And it was great talking to you, and basically hoping that I can get in front of you to present. And I think she called about a week later, and I had sent her, because one of the other things after one of our Tuesday meetings, Rich had actually mentioned about doing video text instead of just texting people. And so that's one of the things that I did, like that following Wednesday. I just recorded a little video. It was only about 15, 20 seconds, but then I sent it to her, you know, just via a text message. And I think that following Monday, you know, Lindsay is so big on the market insight. So I said, well, let me just try that. So I set her up, so I had her email, set her up with, you know, the HAR for the market insight on their home and whatnot. And then lo and behold, I think I got a call early on that next week, and she said, can you come out like today? Because her husband was going to go back to work. He'd been working from home too, and it was about 11 in the morning, and I think, can I do 6:30? And she was like, yes, that's fine. And then once again hung up with her and immediately called you.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
And we worked on our CMA, right? And so we kind of knew now. So now you understand getting a listing appointment, there's a listing process, and right, so we kind of, and you did, we kind of walked you through the beginning stages of the listing process, where you know, you email them our video, you email them our digital presentation, right? Or the PowerPoint presentation, either or. It's a pre-listing presentation
Mm-hmm.
you can do for them, right? And then we zeroed in on that CMA. We knew we need to be really good on the CMA, right? And
Right.
so on the CMA process, I had to kind of educate you so that way you can then
Yes.
educate them, right? And talk
Right.
intelligently. So um, in the CMA process, we went through our actives,
Right.
our pendants, and our solds. And I had to explain to you so you can explain to them that, you know, consumers comparison shop, right? They look at features
Mm-hmm.
and benefits. And so you were going to have to explain to them the features and benefits of homes that are going to be compared to theirs versus what they have, right?
Right.
And so, so I kind of schooled you through our actives, pendants, and solds. We went over how we're going to present to them actives in their community and then actives in the MLS.
Right.
But at the very end, we walk them through where there's a range, but then so they can insert themselves in the greater picture of actives and pick a position for themselves. So how did that go? How did the going through the actives, pendants, and solds, and then also I educated you on the archives of the
Right.
comparables and how that tells a story of either their neighbors were really successful at a price or not. So how did that go?
So, once again, everyone thinks their home is the best home there is, even though you're showing them the comparables, what's actually sold, what's out there. People just kind of have their home as their baby and it's better than everyone else's. So that's a kind of a touchy subject, because even though, you're showing them the numbers and, their thoughts are, oh, I thought it would have been more. And it's like, well, I mean, the market is what drives us, right now. And they wanted to compare a lot, back when they sold 3 years ago on their last home. I mean, I understand, but you were also in Louisiana, and I sold and bought a house in 2017 as well. It was kind of, a little bit of a better time right then and there than what we are, just right here, right now, with just the circumstances. But they understood. And when I think the biggest thing was seeing how long some of the houses were on the market. Because, when we did that CMA, there was one that I think was like the highest priced one, but it had been on there for 200 and something plus days. So it's like and that's when I mentioned to them, I think those key words, how you were saying, do you want to do the try me price or, the buy me price? Try me just being that number that, you're probably not going to get, but you want to try it anyway. But they were still, at least reasonable. And, I just really told them all that time, not only with the CMA, but just the biggest thing I think what sold them was what Gary Greene has to offer. Because I mean, they understood the number. They bought and sold so many houses. I think this is probably like their fourth or fifth home. So they're well equipped on how to do that and what that entails. But
So then the
I
next
think it was actually Gary Greene.
was the marketing. So let's get to our marketing then. So we sent them the video, the pre-listing packet, and then you also brought with you
Yes,
our redefining experience brochure, right?
it did.
So there was a couple of things that you found out after, and you did find out after that they interviewed 2 other brokerages.
Yes. Yes, they did. So I did not know that until I actually went to go and sign them up. And they're like, yeah, you were the third one. And, when you left, they were like, she's it. She's the one. But that was on a Thursday. But then they didn't call until that Monday. It was Wednesday. And she said, well, it was Easter weekend. So we just didn't really know, so we just waited. And I was thinking, you could have let me know on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But that's what they said. You just made me wait another 5 days. They were like, no, after you left. It was like, this is the one.
It was you. So let's talk about our branding, because obviously that sets you apart from the others and obviously makes you proud of the company that you're with.
Yes.
So let's talk about the branding. What do you think, what did you explain about the branding, and what do you think sets you apart?
Honestly, it was just really how with Better Homes and Garden Real Estate, we are different from, even the other larger broker agencies, Keller Williams, Century 21, just due to the fact one with the Meredith Corporation, and just everyone knows, Time magazines, New York Times, Martha Stewart, just even just keep going on all the brands that are under there. And I think really explaining to them, since we are under that umbrella, we get to, feed off of all of those brands. So anytime a consumer, I use the example, like you said, if they happen to be a Sherwin-Williams or something and they're kind of in that price point or whatnot, they'll start to get, it'll market your home to that group, or someone's at a billiard store and they're looking at pool tables and you have this game room upstairs, it's gonna draw them in. And I mentioned how it's kind of like, when you go out and buy something on your phone, or you look at something, and then when you're on Facebook or just scrolling on the internet, you'll get those ads to pop up on certain things because you've gone and looked at them. So it's like that same type of marketing with your home. And so I think that was a big thing too. And just, I told them, I just really honed out there, like, any real estate agent is able to just go put your home on the MLS. But that's probably all they're going to do. And then, just explaining what we do more, like with our boosting, and then just, again, the Meredith Corporation, we do print marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing. It's just out there in so many ways. And then also the relocation that we have department with Cardis, and then just the military piece too. Said, you're taking in so much more, that your home is being put out there to so many more people. And then, also how they explained to us in Fast Track too, if you're getting those people who are relocating, they tend to pay a higher price for a house than someone that's just here in the area, because they don't really know. But what, just putting it out there, like how much we're getting your house out there to people to find really just that one buyer. And I think that's what really kind of put it over the edge. But like I said, just being able to explain all the things that Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Greene, real estate has to offer that others don't, and what makes us different. So,
Well, and I think, why I'm so proud is that you really studied that, and you really put the homework in, you put the work in. I've been coached and trained, and they said the smartest person can have all the stats on a listing presentation, but if you don't know you and your company and you don't present well, you're just not going to get it.
That's true.
So you got the appointment, you've got the listing, and you got a signed contract, and it's because you presented really, really well. So just really proud of you, and the sky's the limit. If you can, achieve in just 75 days, then, there's nothing that can hold you back. So you're going to just keep grinding it through, and I'm there all the way for you.
Right.
So, so then the next step is, hey, we got it on, we're about to get it on the MLS. You did the photography today.
Yes, we went out there and got that done today. Last night, got some evening pictures, and was, just kind of people living in Bridgeland are buying that lifestyle. So, checking out some of getting photographs of what they offer, just like in the community too, because you want to highlight everything. Because if you're coming in there, you're buying that lifestyle, the whole community, the amenities that they have, in addition to the home in itself, so.
Exactly. So now we'll work on our social media and all of that going forward, right?
Because I definitely need help on that, but yes.
That's going to be us. We're going to partner up and get that next phase going. So, but thank you, Tamisha. Thanks for letting me do this. I want to impart this, and I know it'll help some of the others. So any words of wisdom, what you can tell somebody, what would you say to somebody who's just joined your company?
Yeah, just really taking advantage of all the things that, you guys offer to us. There's so much training and education. And like I said, all the leadership people, everybody I met at Fast Track, you, Rich, people really do they genuinely want us to all be successful. It's like they just realize there's enough real estate business out there for everyone, and everyone's here to help, and feel free to reach out to anyone. Like I said, you know, I mean, Karen, we didn't deal a whole lot because I really wasn't doing a whole lot. But the moment all this came up, I mean, you just been there every step of the way. When I called you, text you, whatever it may be, you know, just making sure that I'm, you know, successful and just giving me all the tools, like I said. And that's why I chose Gary Greene, because I mean, you need a good, strong, supportive leadership, and that's just important. I mean, I know that from just being in the healthcare industry, leadership, a strong leadership support team is just amazing. And so,
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And
our pleasure.
and we thank you. And I'm so happy that you are a Gary Greene agent. Making us
Me
proud.
too.
So, well, thanks, Tamisha. And I'm going to end the recording now, but I'm going to call you back and we'll work on our other social media stuff to get your listing up and running.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.